I'm still pissed I couldn't do an MLB vid in September. There was so much chaos and bullshit going around that it was one of the greatest meme seasons in recent memory. All three of the top payrolls in baseball embarrassingly out of the picture. Small markets and forgotten franchises usurping the reins. We're in a new era, lads. One where there was no safe bet to take it all. 12 teams enter, and 11 of them will come up empty-handed. The regular season misery is over. Years of forced rebuilding and agony have all led to this. One of the finest farm systems in baseball bearing delicious fruit. A hitting core emerging on all fronts. And even more growing and on the way. Over 100 wins on the year. The top seed in the AL. And best of all, the team isn't moving. I don't know why that was even a question, but it's apparently been solved. The only thing on the team that really is concerns are in pitching. The starting rotation's been more than fine, but the bullpen's on shaky ground. It's been without Felix Bautista for weeks on end. And he's going under the knife for the dreaded Tommy John. No one's filled his role since. Bringing back Jorge Lopez into the fold is a touch, but it hasn't been ideal. Many cardiac episodes. Bending but trying everything not to break. But despite those adventures in the back end, this year is the honeymoon. Cherish every moment of it, Baltimore. The expectations will be coming soon. The title defense will continue after all. I was wondering if you'd make it. You had to be dragged kicking and screaming to the playoffs by your hitting core, but you're still here? I'd be more confident in your sorcery and the arts of bullshit. However, your starting pitching has taken a massive nosedive over the past month. Turns out you lost more than Luis Garcia and Lance McCullers this year. You apparently lost the ability for the arms to carry you. And that's even with bringing back Justin Verlander for another go-around. Hit or die is the new motto in the revenge tour. Fortunately for Houston, the Astros can do that like nobody's business on the top end. I just don't know if I can really trust them. Especially after losing series to heavyweights like Oakland and Kansas City. Really? You went 2-7 in September against them? There's playing down to competition and then there's whatever the fuck you did. And you somehow still won the AL West. We can have no joy in this world. Congratulations, Minnesota. You've won the AL Central by default. Out of the only other teams that had a chance, Cleveland broke everything in their body by existing, and the White Sox are drooling on themselves in the corner. Even then, the T's do have positives. Their hitting core is full of young revelations like Royce Lewis and Edouard Julien. Not to mention they have one of the more complete pitching cores in the bigs. And they're healthy. Only if most of their key bats weren't down with injuries. Correa's been underwhelming this season and injured recently. Buxton, unsurprisingly, is injured. But the upside is there. The wild card of wild cards. But I can't overlook one thing. The goal in my eyes isn't even to win a series. Just win a damn playoff game. 18 consecutive losses are a pain unlike any other. And if they get swept again, they'll be memed to death. It'll be so embarrassing Carl Pollard will rise from the grave and petition to have them contracted again. Honestly, more surprised that this team didn't have everything fall apart on them with what they've had to go through. On the surface, you see a healthy team with an incredibly balanced hitting core, can hit homers at will, and had one of the hottest starts to a season in the game's history. Look further and you realize it's been masking a fucking nightmare. A huge chunk of the starting rotation has had to go under the knife. Rasmussen, Springs, Clevenger, and that's just the start. Their ace Shane McClanahan won't be out for just the rest of this season, but he'll be unavailable for all of next year as well. It's been the Eflin, Glasnow, and Savale show for about a month and a half. Tampa has the depth to survive, but how many more blows can a team take? Is this the cost for getting a new stadium in St. Pete? The farm system has been taxed to its limit, and it may cost them a chance of being something more in the end. I have been proven wrong before, so give it your best shot. I wouldn't recommend looking any further into the Rays. Just do yourself a huge favor and walk away. Nothing else happened as of note. For all our sakes, it didn't. So you finally managed to step out of walking mediocrity for the first time in an age. I was wondering if it would ever happen, if we're being honest. Over the past month and change, the Rangers have been doing everything in their power to hand the division to anyone else. And they finally found a taker at the 11th hour. This is in spite of the Bats taking matters into their own hands. If he weren't injured for a chunk of the year, Corey Seager would have a legitimate argument for AL MVP runner-up. Strong, sexy options for power, speed, and patience throughout the lineup. Did you see how well Evan Carter did in his small sample size? Just wait till Wyatt Langford shows up. Unfortunately, that can't solve the rotation issues. Their plans have backfired. They tried to replace an injured ace from the Mets with another injured ace from the Mets. Dealing with injuries to your aces is no fault of your own, but I do have a question. What happened to your bullpen? Every time I see it, it's blowing worse than a midnight sobriety test. No lead is safe. No situation is secure. And when the mountain crumbles into dust, all that will be left is Aroldis Chapman awkwardly smiling on the mound. My perpetual aggravation with Toronto's underachieving will not cease until the heat death of the earth. If last year was supposed to be the movie, this year is the disappointing sequel that no one asked for and only exists as a cash grab. Be thankful you made it to begin with. I'd be bequeathing endless tracts of land to the pitching staff. Well, most of it. Alek Manoah is currently throwing a bitch fit in the corner. Otherwise, it's wondering if the bats are going to hit with consistency. The only one doing much of anything is Bo Bichette. Vlad's regress, Springer and Kirk are hot and cold, and apparently all Varsho can do is field. It's Russian roulette in baseball form. You might get them raking like there's no tomorrow, or you could just end up with a bullet in your head. Will they ever play up to their potential like we all think they can? For once? What are they going to rely on? 3 weeks of Davis Schneider and Ernie Clement? Trust me, my frustrations are a good thing. It means I still care. The real opposite would be apathy. It might happen if you shit the bed yet again. Baseball rivals, welcome to your doom. How would you like to die? Would you like it to be by one of the most potent power-hitting lineups in recent memory? Would you prefer it to be by the MVP season of Ronald Acuna, who dominated to a 40-70 campaign? Do you settle for being struck out repeatedly by the young arms in the rotation? Or do you concede the fact that the Braves have at least 30 ways to kill a team before the 5th inning? Last year's failure was a punch in the mouth, and they'll do anything to make sure it doesn't happen again. But like many fortresses, there's a weakness to be exploited. The Death Star had an exhaust port, Helm's Deep had a water drain, the Braves have their middle bullpen. Forcing their fan base to suffer through 2023 vintages of Brad Hand and Kirby Yates is a sight that could be seen as torture. If things get out of hand like they did last year, everything could unravel in a flash. The past few seasons haven't gone to plan for the Dodgers. 2021 was wrecked by injury. 2022 was wrecked by Dave Roberts being Dave Roberts. This time, we'll find out if a team can go anywhere with a decimated rotation. Dead serious, nearly every single arm they were depending on is gone or at limited capacity. Walker Buehler isn't coming back this year. Dustin May, Tommy John. Tony Gonsolin, Tommy John. Julio Urias, fucking idiot who probably isn't pitching in the bigs again. Eduardo Rodriguez didn't want to pitch here. Thor? Even the Dodgers couldn't fix him. The rotation is down to a visibly ailing Clayton Kershaw, Bobby Miller, Emmett Sheehan, and Lance Lynn. The arm generation factory for the Dodgers isn't working fast enough. The veteran hitter revivals are at the very least. That lineup is going to have to do the carry job of carry jobs with how devastated the rotation is. They have the high-end talent to do it. At least in the batter's box. Everyone knows that Milwaukee is a three-headed monster that can devour souls. When you hear the names Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta, stronger men than I tremble in fear. Opponents know that trying to beat them will take everything they've got. Think it gets easier with their bullpen in your fucking dreams. The problem is we've known this for years. It's been their bats that have held them back from greatness. Oh, you're saying the Brewers finally have a rounded hitting core that has more than one batter raking? Sure, I'll believe that when, Turns out that happens when Mark Canha, Carlos Santana, and the Bringer of Rain are the equivalent of the Braves' 2021 acquisitions. They are the sleeper team of baseball, and I can't believe I'm saying that. If the bats keep this up, and that's a big if, they can go far. This might be the best chance they've got if they choose to move on from Burns in the offseason. Final gasps tend to bring out the best in people. Who knows? A deep playoff run could get a certain local government to cater to the whims and fancies of a team seeking stadium renovations. Bell go dong. So many dongs, I think the Liberty Bell just got another crack in it. With how many homers they hit in August, there will be nothing but dogs. Threats for power up and down the lineup. This time with a sexy Trey Turner to add even more power. Nick Castellanos back to hitting bombs. Bryce Harper still raking. Kyle Schwarber still all or nothing. On the mound, the starting rotation a solid bunch that could upend quality lineups if needed. However, the long ball is alpha and omega. The mantra of the Phillies is simple. Live by the home run, die by it too. I just wonder if that bullpen of theirs is going to hold up. It's definitely an adventure most games. In the insanely stressful and heart-straining way. Why does it feel like the only reliable arm back there is Jeff Hoffman? Everyone fighting for the 6th seed in the NL was stumbling and bumbling over each other in the last few weeks of the season. It wasn't who would win it, but who would collapse on themselves less to remain standing. Miami, well done. You didn't shit yourselves repeatedly like everyone else did. You may have a hitting core that only scores runs once every 9 innings and had a nice cold August, but you made it. Besides, with that starting rotation, they'll be a threat no matter what happens. Well, without Alcantara, unfortunately. A team that danced through the raindrops thanks to that and some savvy deadline acquisitions. It's what we deserve. Wait a minute. A team that outperformed every metric imaginable, squeaks into the playoffs at the last moment, the ultimate underdog story going against every narrative in the book. Yet this team's probably going on a deep playoff run. We've seen this movie before from them. Multiple times. Don't ask why this is, just go with it. A roller coaster is a feature, not a bug. In Arizona, a season where they don't go up and down at random is no season whatsoever. A legendary June must be countered with one of the worst Julys known to man. Everyone expected them to fall apart after whatever the fuck their early August was, but they found their antidote. Playing the Padres. Cue another rise from the doldrums to go on another how the hell is this team winning so much streak. One that managed to carry them right to the playoffs. Somehow. Their fortunes are tied to Corbin Carroll and Gabriel Moreno. If those two rake, they do well. If not, well, it was nice knowing you. The D-backs are a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Do you bite into the succulent truffles of Zach Gallen to victory? Or do they choke on something disguised as moldy sludge? But enough about hypotheticals. It's Paul Sewell's time to pitch. The key is to simply embrace the chaos. Live in the moment and try not to think about anything too much. This whole baseball season has required turning off your brain. And there will be plenty of shenanigans to come. But what about a prediction? There are a lot of different ways you can take this. Do you go conservative and shoot for the most talent? Or do you try to guess based on who has the healthiest rotation? Honestly, if I try to use logic, it'll backfire on me. Just the name of the game. Which is why I'm going with Tampa Bay against Milwaukee. I feel they have the best 3-man rotations in the dance right now. Plus the best bullpens to boot. The postseason's about pitching. And those two units have some damn good arms. Tampa's injuries notwithstanding. Plus they can hit a good bit too. Play ball, boys. I'm sorry for jinxing these teams.
Tucker trying to do it in the American League as he lines one to right. It's over the head of Jake McCarthy. McCarthy actually came in a step or two. Didn't realize Tucker hit it that well. And Tucker is going to get to third, so he retakes the lead in triples. He's going to try to score. He's going to score. Give him the home run. I don't think they will.
Could you imagine?